Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome. We'll just jump right in. Welcome to, I don't even know, episode 5 or something? Episode 5 or 6, I guess, whatever episode it is of Nerdy as Hell podcast. I'll be your host again, as usual. I'm here. My name's Matt, if you're new. I've got Jake with me, I got Chris with me, and I got Ty with me. So, we got all the dudes here.
Boys night. Boys night.
Boys night on the podcast. So, we're going to talk about probably a whole bunch of nonsense. So,
nonsense.
How's everybody feeling, though?
Pretty good.
Everybody feeling good tonight?
Pretty
those new
good,
glasses,
man.
Jake. Those new glasses are sweet.
Thanks. Yeah, I got them last week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, they're still looking new.
Yeah,
and not all fucked up, but they're nice. Those are nice.
They're not destroyed by tiny hands and.
Not yet. They get them grubby little fingers all over them. Ugh.
The other pair that I have, they kind of got worn and torn on Saturday night. That's a story for later, though.
Oh, okay, yeah. You might want, maybe you can share some of that if you want. It's up to you. I don't really care if you share it or not.
I don't care. I will.
But how are you doing, Chris? Yeah, we'll get there in a second. Hold on. I want to see how everybody's doing. You doing all right, Chris?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You haven't been on a couple episodes. So I just wanted to check in on you, see how you were doing.
I've just had to pick up some ships and make money.
Fucking feel that.
Yeah.
Fucking feel that shit, man, in my soul.
Yeah, Ty's here as well. So how are you doing, buddy?
Good, man.
I'm trying to catch up to you. I'm growing the beard out too, but I don't think I'm going to catch you.
Oh yeah, me too. Look, you can see.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, it's getting thick.
I got the Mexican stash going on right here.
It just doesn't stop.
Man.
Like it's just like keeps. It's like a.
Do you just like? Obviously, you have absolutely no problem growing facial hair. So let me ask you: is it just fucking annoying at this point? You're 30 now, like we are. Are you just over it at this point?
Yeah, definitely.
You just don't care anymore.
I care because it's like I gotta like take a bunch of time and like take care of it.
Yeah, put shit in it.
I don't groom it, so like I just like gotta deal with whatever's happening because I'm lazy and it costs money to like use razors. It's like $40 for like a pack of razors. Like it's ridiculous. Like
yeah, I was gonna say, seeing how mine's obviously not that thick, so it's not that much of a problem. So I can use the same razor for like a month or two.
I'm like
because
3
my
months
actual
in.
beard's not that thick.
Well, I think I'm like 3 or 5 months, probably 5 months into no shaving. Like
nice. Yeah, I'm like 2 months in, I think, and I just had to trim the mustache. Couldn't take it anymore. Could not.
Right, it's ridiculous, right? It's just like, God damn it.
Yeah, I hate when my mustache curls into my mouth.
Oh, dude, yes,
right,
yes, and you're like
the corners of my lips.
You get like,
especially
my least favorite
like,
is when I'm brushing my teeth and it gets all up in the fucking corner of my mustache.
I had someone
Jake's
at work
just sitting
tell
here
me
like.
I had someone at work tell me to flip it outwards, so I pushed it outwards. I was like, if I actually like trimmed up the sides, it would make it really obvious.
Dude, you could style that like a motherfucking like somebody from from 1865, bro.
You look dandy.
Full circle.
Just like start twisting that shit, man.
Get you some mustache wax.
Yeah,
the pomade.
Hey, it helps. It helps. Anyway, Jake has nothing to. He's very bored, obviously. So
I'm not bored.
We'll move on. So obviously, we've all been on the podcast before, so we don't have to do any intros, which is nice. But if what I will do, real quick, before we jump into it. If you guys at home are watching the video or listening at home on Spotify or anything like that, give us a rating. We really appreciate it on Spotify or Apple Pods. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like the video, give us a thumbs up. That really helps us. It basically helps us with the algorithm and it recommends our channel to other people. And if you enjoy the podcast, click that sub button. It's free. So yeah, I hate doing all that shit, but we got to, unfortunately. So, yeah, we got some good stuff to talk about. We'll go ahead and start with something that happened today. I don't know how you guys were playing right before we hopped on. So I don't think Jake has played the game. In fact, I know he hasn't played the game. But Chris and Ty have put in significant hours to Helldivers 2, and there was a balancing update today, September, what is today, 17th? So how's it feeling? Because for me, I've been a little like, it's been a little rough the last couple times I've played.
like
I
it.
chose to play with some of the worst like weapons and stuff, like things that I thought were like absolutely trash. Like Chris was sitting there watching me absolutely just completely falling flat on my face and dying like a bunch of times, but using some of what I thought were like the weakest weapons. Like I thought it was super fun. Like it felt like I could use them. It's just I had to try really hard to make certain. Like I was trying to use like the SMG. I like had
Yeah.
to really figure out how to actually like use it and like I figured out one time, Chris, I made one thermite land on a tank and that took out the tank. So like there's some cool
Yeah,
shit.
Okay. Okay.
What do you
That's
think,
nice.
Chris?
I like that they buffed the napalm orbital barrage. Like it's fucking ridiculous now. It explodes with the amount of like it has a shockwave that knocks you back, kind of like the 500-pound bomb with each
Okay.
little explosion like that it does. So it's happened several
So the
times.
so napalm now it has
Danger.
an explosive element like it should have,
Yeah,
along with the burning.
yeah,
Well, I mean, it is getting blasted downwards. So
yeah.
it's just like they added in like some extra like you should be out of here. You should not be inside of the blast zone mechanics. But like the fire, bro, like we both of us, one after the other, we tried to climb over this burning tank, died immediately.
Yeah, it kills you so fast. And you can
Like
die in
no
barbed
time
wire
at all. You're like,
so
oh shit,
fast
I'm
too.
jumping. Dead.
Just so you touch the fire and you die now.
Yep.
Oh my god. All right. Well, that's fucking annoying. Does
It's
it?
okay. No, but like I've tried some of my usual kit and like it feels very viable.
Okay. All right. Well,
It's
that's good to know.
it feels fun, it feels balanced, like it's challenging for sure.
Yeah.
The bots will fucking headshot
Yeah, it
your
was
ass.
hard.
So
Really,
you're
really
gonna want
hard still.
you do need to strategize to get your objective done.
Oh, we were so close on that last one, man.
I
Like
know.
we went into overtime. We just I like fumbled the bag like 3 times.
All right. Good to know. I might. Well, then I might hop on with you guys. If you guys want, we can try to record something. Check out the new Helldivers update that way. But
That'd be fun
so
sometime.
yeah, I've got a couple other things. So this week, something well, you know what? It's a little older, so we'll start with this. And Jake looked like very excited to talk about this. So a couple weeks ago, some news or an announcement from Disney came down. It was a little bit after I think Deadpool came out, but it was regarding Star Wars and their leader, I guess we should say, or call it, maybe over the last several years, really since they bought Star Wars, right? But so anyway, Kathleen Kennedy, it was announced, so she is going to be stepping down from the lead role in terms of like controlling Star Wars early
God.
2025. So I don't think they have announced. Maybe they have. I can look at it while you guys are talking about it. But go, Jake. You look like you wanted to riff.
It's it's just been such a slog to be a Star Wars fan. I mean, you had a few hits. Mando was good. The first two seasons were good. I was kind of meh about the third one. Um, Book of Boba Fett was
Still haven't even
fine.
seen the third season of it.
Book of Boba Fett was fine. But I don't know. I wanted to like Kenobi so bad. I wanted I wanted to watch Ahsoka so bad, but I couldn't even make it through the first episode. They were just, and it's not the whole, oh, it's gone woke thing. That doesn't bother me. I don't give a fuck about that
Yeah,
anymore. It's
I don't
just
think that. I don't think
it,
that really bothers most people either. Honestly,
eh,
I think that bothers a select vocal
loud
few.
group,
Yeah, vocal few.
but it's been a slog, and they suffered the same fate as what Marvel did, and just oversaturated so fast and so hard. You
Same
just couldn't
company.
keep up. Well, obviously it's the same company, but I just couldn't keep up with him. And after a certain point, I got real just sick of it. Um, and so I don't know. I'm just glad to see a new leadership role take over, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Did they just expect us to be ravenous for every new iteration that they put out?
Yes.
Yep.
Like they thought we would just be like, oh hell yeah, oh yeah, space lesbians, let's go. Like
Well, I
I just
remember I
I
think
just
it
use
was
that as an example. I haven't watched that personally, so I don't really actually have an opinion.
Don't even waste your time, buddy.
I think it was season 2 of what was it? The Mandalorian. My dad was like, "All right, we're gonna watch this so we can catch up with the third season that's about to come out." I think we got like two episodes in. We realized the second episode was just entirely different. We were like waiting for it to go back to the things that we want to see. And then we were like, okay, so we're gonna watch something else now. Just like immediately just like tapped out. We were like, nope, we're all good.
That's
Is
the
that the
issue. Is
one
that
with the frog dude?
Dude, I don't even remember what happened. I remember the first episode was like, okay, so let's see where it's going, and it was just like I don't care to find out where it's going anymore.
So I just looked up a follow-up just to clarify. So her contract expires at the end of 2024, and it hasn't been renewed yet. So, we're literally like 2.5, 3 months away from it. So, I was where this story came from. So a lot of my gaming news, full disclosure, I get off. So I watch Angry Joe and their news, and this was on there. So they talked about Kathleen Kennedy stepping down. It's a rumor at this point, apparently.
oh,
But her contract has not been renewed. And
didn't Disney just recently do a huge DEI purge?
Yes, yeah.
So I don't see it going in her favor.
I know she was. In April they announced that she would not be the president of Lucasfilm anymore. So supposedly at the end of this, I think this year she's either retiring or stepping away. So.
Remember when our
Anyway.
biggest complaint about Star Wars is that George Lucas was adding too much CGI bullshit?
Yes.
Those are the good old days.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. When the prequels were the worst, when the worst Star Wars movie was Episode 1. Now it's just the
Yeah.
most boring. It's not the worst anymore, but it's just the most boring.
I remember coming out with my family, like I had my mom and dad and my grandma, and we went to go watch Rise of Skywalker. And like we
Oh,
were
no.
talking on the drive there, but I remember it just being dead silent on the way back. I'm pretty sure all of us were just like completely like stunned by what
That's
like
somehow
it was
so
just, like
perfect.
so much.
Stunned by the shite you just saw.
I never
'Cause
saw
I remember I think
You
I brought it
don't
up
need
like,
to. You really don't, buddy.
Here,
It was
Chris,
like a couple
I can
weeks
sum it
ago.
up. I can sum the whole movie up for you in one sentence. Somehow, Palpatine survived.
that. God, what's up with people in surviving falling into infinite, like bottomless pits?
Apparently nobody dies in Star Wars anymore. So since Disney's taken over, they literally cannot create any of their own. The only unique character in Star Wars that I can think of since Disney's taken over is Cal Kestis, and that's not even Disney. That was EA's Respawn that made that game.
So I will disagree with you there because all the characters that they created for Rogue One, even Andor, because he was part of the crew for Rogue One.
That's fine. I
Rogue One-
kind of agree.
Rogue One was the best thing that post Disney buyout has put out. Star
I
Wars
agree.
related.
And you want me to? I'll say this as
It's the
why I think
exception that
that's
proves the
that
rule.
is, because it's a one and done movie. They
Yeah,
weren't trying to
you
milk
can't-
that. They weren't trying to milk those characters, and they made an actual cohesive start to finish fucking story.
Yeah, you can't have.
They still fucked it up by putting CGI Leia in the movie, and
Well,
CGI Tarkin. Getting
Yeah,
sued
I
for
mean,
that now. By the way, getting sued for that.
yeah, I knew they would. Well, I didn't know they would then, but like eventually it would come around to bite them in the ass. I don't know, but that's it's the only reason that was so good was because you couldn't have any of those characters live. Literally, you could not. It would.
Yep.
You'd be like, well, what the fuck? I thought they all died.
Yeah, that's the most unique Star Wars project that we've had too since,
And
it was
Andor-
literally the second one, the second the second Disney production, wasn't it? It was, we had Force Awakens and then Rogue One,
I think so,
before
yeah.
Last Jedi, right?
Yeah.
So like literally they hit a home run and then they hit a grand slam and now they strike.
Yeah, it's been so bad.
And that's fucking it, dude.
And it wasn't even Disney. They just took credit for the project, but finishing the Clone Wars.
Oh yeah. I don't even, that was Dave Filoni.
Yeah. So them finishing the Clone Wars, Disney just
Clone
was
Wars,
the
I mean,
studio.
did you ever actually finally finish it, by the way?
No.
You need to. Last season is like, you might cry. Honestly, it's so good. It's perfect.
But yeah,
Anybody else any thoughts? Star Wars?
I
Modern
think
Star Wars before we
if Disney went back to what they did with Rogue One, and I'm not saying do a Rogue One story again, but do more one-off stories with characters with themes like sacrifice and like, I don't know, just one and done stories.
But
I
no,
feel
Chris,
like-
how are we going to milk one and done stories?
Just do a lot of them. That's what they did with these shitty other things.
But Chris, how are people going to know it's Star Wars if it doesn't have a lightsaber in it and they're not related to Luke Skywalker? How are we going to know?
They don't drop the Skywalker name at least once.
Or they don't drop us, or we're not actually physically just related to an OG character. Like, why can't we just have a Star Wars story with no cameos?
You know what? They could have.
And
Well,
yeah, obviously
they could have done something
but
with Finn. They could have done something with Finn.
Oh, totally.
trust me, I'm sure they were going to. And I think John Boyega's, kind of like stance towards Disney and modern Star Wars kind of, I think he was billed and he was advertised as going to be like as a Jedi and teased to be a Jedi at some point, in The Force Awakens, but that was sadly ruined.
Yeah.
But we've had that conversation before. It's actually still on the YouTube channel. It's not very pointed, or honestly, it's not very good. But it's like we went through all the old in one of the old
I forgot
podcasts. We went
that.
through all
Yeah,
the
we
Star
went
Wars
through all the Star Wars
shit.
movies.
Yeah. So yeah, it's actually still on the channel. Some of the original episodes are still on this YouTube channel. So they're posted from like 3 years ago. I just have them hidden, or not hidden, but they're in a playlist for old podcast stuff.
What would if you could whisper into a Disney executive's ear and tell them what you want in a Star Wars movie, what would you say?
I don't know what I want, but I know what they're giving me is not it.
Fair.
What do I want?
I think
Personally,
it would be cool to see a live action
good
exploration
writing.
of like the Republic.
I want to see the Old Republic, but they need better writers. The shit that I've seen, the clips of talking and things I've seen in the last like most recent shows like Acolyte and things like that, hell no, fuck you, don't touch it.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Knights of Ren standalone
Or
movie.
what they actually were.
What they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because unless you read like the books of the sequels, there's not really a whole lot of information about them.
Mm-hmm.
Or like
And then they show up in Rise of Skywalker and
a movie about the first Sith
kills all of them.
would be cool.
The first Sith, yeah.
Yeah.
About Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't the first.
Well, I just mean the first Sith, like the one that decided.
Yeah, the
all right,
Jedi that
the
said,
rule
"Nah,
of
fuck
two."
this."
That one. That like once, you know what I mean? Like
Didn't
there
they
used to be a
do that
lot
The
with
of
rule of
Wars?
two is more of a
Right.
thing. It's a modern Sith thing, from what I understand. As like, we don't want more than this because then the Jedi will know where we exist, and they'll, like, the
I
Sith
always
got
understood it
almost
as they
hunted
got
into.
complacent and
The Sith, the Sith is a religion, right? It's an opposite religion belief to the Jedi. So
Yeah.
it was they originally went extinct like they thought, right? But the reason they didn't actually go extinct, their numbers were lessened to only 2, so they were undetectable. That's the rule of 2. Just
Weird
so you know,
fact.
as far as
the
I
way
understand.
that I understood it was the most powerful guy and the one he's training, and that's
Yeah,
it.
and then eventually he kills the most powerful guy, and then it's basically
Yeah.
like that. But the rule of 2 is so that they don't expand their numbers so much that the Jedi can find them and detect them and stuff like that.
A weird little tidbit here. Did you know that when you're in the military and they issue your dog tags, they'll put like your preferred religion on them.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, I
You
guess.
can get Jedi.
Really?
Yeah, you can.
That's
I
funny.
think Allie did Jedi.
That's funny. What if I wanted to be a Sith Lord, though?
I would assume you could put Sith.
All right, sweet, cool. All right. So something that did happen actually this past week that I don't think that we're a huge fan of. The PS5 Pro was finally unveiled with a price tag of $700 US. I thought that this console would at least the point would be, you know, hey, you can run 4K and get 60 FPS because that's what everybody wants, right? You want to be able to run your games in 4K and have 60 frames. So I was like, all right, surely that's what the PS5 Pro can do. No, it can't. So it's not guaranteed to do that for any game, unless the developers themselves put the time in to develop the game to be able to run on the PS5 Pro hardware at 60 FPS in 4K. So it's up to, again, the developers, which is fine, right? You know, we want to put it in the developers' hands, but there have been some reports about games, even that are currently existing, that are several years old, that when the PS5 Pro comes out, they still won't even be able to reach 60 FPS in 4K. So, on release, the PS5 Pro, again, $700. So we're going to talk about whether we think it's worth the money. So the PS5, when it came out, was $500 with the disc drive and a stand. So if you want the same thing that came with the PS5 disc, you know, the disc version, that's what we're going to talk about here. The PS5 Pro does not come with a disc drive, and it doesn't come with a stand. It literally is just the PS5 Pro and the bare basic white controller that comes with the regular PS5. It's $200 more, and the stand is sold separately, and there is no disc drive.
The disc drive, I can understand.
Yeah, but the stand being in the picture and then being like, stand sold separately.
Yes.
That is like a fucking slap in the face.
Fuck you. Buy our product. You're gonna buy it. And you're gonna fucking like it.
That's heavy Apple energy right there.
How much is the stand by itself?
$30. Half the price of the game.
You remember
Piece
they
of
shut
plastic.
down the people that made those like replacement plates that you could put on the front. So just
and now you
like
can
literally
only get the
aesthetic
Sony
change that,
branded
like
ones.
shut that shit down.
Yep, and now you can only get the Sony branded ones.
Our stand trademark.
Yep.
Terrible.
Yeah, so the stand is $30 and the disc drive is $80. So if you want what you got with a day one PS5, you have to pay $810. And that's if you can get a disc drive, because now they've been bought up and sold out everywhere, because I'm sure bots and resellers are buying them because they know people are going to want a disc drive.
Remember how the scalpers made money last time? They're just gonna do it again if they can.
Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they'll actually step up production. But this really reminds me of when like the PS3 was announced, and at the time was $600 versus the Xbox 360, which was out already and was $200 cheaper than the PS3. Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Xbox 360 made significant strides against Sony's basic
PS3.
monopoly on the entertainment gaming industry at the time. So this, to me, kind of just stems from the fact that Xbox has just shot themselves in the foot the last 7 or 8 years with failure after failure after failure after failure of first-party games that are just doo-doo or whatever, and their unwillingness to do anything other than subscribe to Game Pass. You know, that just seems like what Xbox does now. They're just like, hey guys, Game Pass. That's it. You know, like,
Get your Game Pass machines.
they have, unfortunately, to our detriment, kind of shot this whole generation in the foot. Also, this console generation. Obviously, COVID didn't help, but coming out with a cheaper console that is less powerful than your flagship console, and making every single game in development that comes out for that console, it has to be runnable on the shittier one. So that pigeonholes and holds back, everything. So like everything that comes out for the Xbox Series X has to also be playable on an S.
It's the dual release format this generation that came out. It really bottlenecked what developers
Yeah.
could do.
You're also you're getting a lot more PlayStation exclusives because developers don't want to be held back by we have to develop for the S. So like how many games are coming out, like Black Myth Wukong? They just have no real plans of putting it out on an Xbox, or even set like many that are just PS5, PC over the last year or two, because they just don't want to develop for it.
Is the fact that I still I hate the fact that I still want a PS5 because I want to play Spider-Man 2. I want to play the Wolverine game when it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're hitting the nail right on the head when they have all these in-house games. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like when I had my PS4, I bought my PS4 on a whim one day. I went to a GameStop, and just by shit luck, they were like, it's the summer of play. PS4 gold 1 terabyte is $400. And I was like, fucking sold.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wasn't going to get one. But then I was able to play like Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 1, 9, 8, 5, 7, 4 over 36 days and all the fucking games. I was able to play them all. This was back when MLB was still Sony property.
Yeah, because that's only as of the last like 2 or 3 years been on Xbox One, or Xbox Series X.
And so it's just hard for me to justify buying a whole console for 3 games, but I know I want to because I know Kingdom Hearts 4 is supposed to be coming out in the next year or two. So it's just I get way more mileage. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I get the most mileage out of my Switch.
Well, you have about to have 4 children in your house.
No, it's not even that. I enjoy
but
the
it's
games on my
mobile,
Switch more.
And because you're always moving, you don't have time to sit down on the couch, right? I mean,
I do. I rarely play off dock.
Okay. Well, then I think that's just your games. That's in your gaming style, I think, dude.
That is
more
that
than
is
anything, because
true.
your wheelhouse is those classic, like the platformers, and obviously Sonic and Mario and stuff like that. Like that's where you're most at home.
Yeah, because shooters just piss me off, and when I play games, I want to have fun. I don't want to get pissed off.
That's why I don't play fighting games anymore.
But yeah,
so yeah, what is everybody's thoughts? You guys gonna get a PS5 Pro?
Fuck no.
For that extra 10 to 15 frames on the existing games. Oh yeah, and another thing, there's not even like a flagship title coming out with it to be like, hey, look, buy this console because this game is worth it. No, it's just, hey, $700. Hey, and you want a stand? $30. Hey, you want a disc drive? Another $80. Thanks.
Crazy.
Just feels like Apple to me, and it's really annoying, man.
Is there anything superior about it?
Yeah, you get it has a better graphics. It has a better GPU. It has the exact same CPU as the PS5.
At that point, I just learned how to mod.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. Like, and I think I know Ty's a PC gamer primarily. So like, I mean, we could literally put an $800 PC together that would run anything the PS5 could run.
And you could play Xbox games with it.
And you could play Xbox games. Yes.
Well, I was going to say that about the PS games is,
and they're
slowly
trickling out too,
conceding as they realize people are playing their fucking games on the computer.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy.
Because like even Days Gone, like did shitty. It was like a first party game for PlayStation. Yeah. It did really well
did great on PC
on the computer. Because it's a good game. Like it was super tight. I was surprised at how good it felt to play with like mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, when I played that game on PS4, it ran like a turd, and I just
Yeah, see, I was like, I'm playing the long con where I'm just waiting for all those games to come out. I was like, yo, they said they'll release God of War 2 in like 3 years after it comes out on PlayStation. They're about to do the same thing with God, what was it Final Fantasy 16 or whatever with Clyde,
I
that
don't
newer
know.
one.
I'm not a Final Fantasy guy. I'm sorry.
Well, it was like it's a whole like the whole point is like it's designed for the PlayStation and it's supposed to use the controller and it's supposed to have all these gimmicks for
Yeah.
by the PlayStation and then they're like also it's coming to PC later.
Well, hey, if anyone
So you
doesn't
just
have
wait for
a
it, it'll
DualSense
come
though,
out and then you wait even longer, it'll go on sale. It'll
true, it will.
go on
Steam
sale
sales,
because
man.
nothing goes on sale if it's on a first party platform for consoles.
Yeah, like Last of Us and all that stuff, like barely ever goes on sale. I almost never see it on sale.
That
On
Xbox sale is
yeah,
$15 for literally everything.
but yeah, like the last first party Microsoft game you guys actually played. For me, it was Halo Infinite, and before that, I can't even remember. It might have been Forza Horizon.
I was gonna say Forza Horizons because it came with my Xbox Series X.
When was the last time you went out and bought a Microsoft game, a Microsoft Studios game, which would be
Exclusive?
like Gears of War, Halo, Forza,
Starcraft? No, Starfield.
Starfield.
that's
Starfield fucking
recent.
flopped too. I mean,
Couldn't tell you, man.
Does Halo Wars count?
I guess
I bought
Halo
Halo
Wars 2 I
Wars
think
at
came out in like
GameStop.
2018, so I guess that one.
It's like I bought Halo Wars at GameStop, realized that you need to buy it digitally to then be able to play it on my computer.
Can I
I returned it.
express a gripe I have with my Xbox right now that I
You can
discovered today?
express anything you want.
Yep.
Cool, because the whole reason I bought an X was for backwards compatibility. Backwards compatibility. We support backwards compatibility. They support backwards compatibility for the games that people played.
Right. I
That
was gonna say
many
they
people
gave
played.
up.
I tried to play Sonic 06, which is a 360 game. This game's not available in our backup library.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's infuriating to know that uh, all I want to do is play my old games. And I was like, sweet, the Xbox Series X is a viable way to play my
Hey Jake,
older games.
you know what?
Huh.
I feel like that about Nintendo.
I was just about to say something about Nintendo, bro, because
That's how it makes
I've got
me feel.
the same issue with them on some back. They said, "Oh, you want to play this old game? Well, guess what? Now it doesn't have multiplayer with like split screen, and you got to pay me like like $35."
What
Yeah,
game?
Mario Sunshine.
And you bend
Oh,
over
do
and
you
do
want
it
to play the
anyway.
game? Oh, everybody's got to buy their own Switch, and then you can play on that. Yo, I was like, Mario Kart, sick because you can have two people play at the same time online.
Yeah, you
Dude,
can
Smash
actually
Bros?
share Mario Kart with people, even if they don't own it. You can
Oh,
digitally share it with them, and they can join on their Switch and play with you.
never even heard of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No, but Smash Bros. Though, everybody's got to buy their own. You got to buy your own Switch. You got to buy your own copy. One person.
gross.
that's weird because I feel like Smash would be the one game that you don't need split screen for. So you should be able to play multiplayer on one screen.
You play
I
four
think
people
that
on
too.
my console, four people on yours. We've got 8 people. Those are the LAN parties.
LAN parties, hell yeah. That's weird. I didn't know Smash Ultimate was a problem for online multiplayer.
Oh my God. Yeah, I bought a Switch at the beginning of this year exclusively to play Smash
Well,
Bros.
that was a mistake.
As soon as
Switch
we
2 is
got to
probably coming out in a
my
couple months.
house and sat down to play it with my brother and then my other brother on the other side of the country, it said, "Well, you can only play with one person."
That's lame.
Dude, exactly. It was
Wow.
like I had the same
That's
thing with
so
Halo
stupid.
5.
The fuck?
I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Nintendo Online is dramatically behind in the times.
It's like
Oh,
PS2
no,
But in
online.
some points, at like the Mario Kart thing, at some cases, they are way ahead of schedule. But in the more basic ones, you're like,
Yeah, Mario Kart was great on Saturday night, which, by the way, we can end with. So if you want to talk about Saturday night, why you weren't there.
yeah,
But,
yeah, I will.
by the way, I was mad for like 10 minutes, so don't worry about it.
I know. I felt really bad. I had no idea what was going on. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I knew that's why I was mad for 10 minutes. It wasn't your fault. and I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't expect him to be like, "Fuck you guys, go home." I'm gonna play Mario Kart.
Wait,
So
should
anyway,
we just? Okay,
fuck
yeah,
it,
we'll
why
talk
not?
about it
Yeah, we're talking about Nintendo. So yeah, this past week we had a stream to celebrate our 50 subs. It was supposed to be for 30 subs, but you guys fucking kick ass, and we got to 50 before I could even get the 30 sub celebration up. So, and
Hell yeah.
actually at the time I could have even said 60 because we were at 61 when we started. They were
Hell yeah.
So we're at 63 today. Which, by the way, every time I see it, fuck you, thank you. You guys are badass. But yeah, so we were gonna have a 50 sub celebration stream, or 30, then move to a 50 sub celebration stream on Saturday night, and we were gonna play some Mario Kart instead of doing like a pre-recorded Mario Kart. I was just like, you know what, we should probably just be more relaxed and fun to just sit down and play some Mario Kart. Cheyenne hopped on with me, and Jake was gonna hop on, but unfortunately, 10 minutes before the stream started, Jake texted me.
Yeah.
And
So
what did you say?
So Saturday night, I was sitting at home getting ready. I was just chilling, vibing, doing nothing. I was in my pajamas playing video games, and then all of a sudden, a couple of my friends busted through the door. My friends out here, they busted through the door and they said, "Jake, get dressed. We're going out. It's your last hurrah before the twins come," because Allie's getting induced on the 3rd. So we're like a couple weeks out. But they're like, "We're going out for one last hurrah." And I was like, okay. And that's when that's like what you were saying. Like, I can't just say, no, I've got stuff to do. So
Yeah,
they
especially
loaded me
when
up.
we're about to play Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Come on.
So they loaded me up, and nobody else knows this. So this is the first time I'm telling anybody this. I mean, obviously Allie knows what happened, and but none of you guys know. But they drove me like an hour outside of town. We went to up around Binghamton, New York, if you ever heard of that. And
Only in the office, because they had a branch. Dunder
yep,
Mifflin
there you
had a
go.
branch in Binghamton.
Yep, I live very close to Binghamton, and I drive, and I'm not from here. I don't know where we're going. And next thing I know, we pull up to this place called Madame Orr's. It's a topless bar.
Hmm.
They took me out to a topless bar, and I had never been in my life. I'd never been to any kind of strip club.
Neither have I.
Me neither.
So Allie knew, she didn't tell me anything, but she had known that they were planning on taking me to a strip club.
So it's her fault.
It's not her fault. But yeah, they took me there. That was pretty wild. I'll spare most of the details, but I will share one unfortunate part. So again, I had no idea where I was going, but I knew I was going out. So I said, "Fuck it, you know what? I better grab some cash with me." So I grabbed like $60 cash just to be safe.
Didn't come back with any.
No, I did not. But we got there, and I took out some of my cash and exchanged it into one. So I had a lot of ones, and then one of my friends comes up to me.
As you do, I guess.
Yeah, and one of my
guess.
friends came up to me and he gave me a 20 and said, "Here, Jake, I want to make sure you have some fun tonight." And I was like, "Okay." So I took that 20 and put it in my wad of ones. So I guess proper etiquette. Again, this was my first time ever being at anything like this.
Oh no! Oh no!
They come up and dance, and like they'll pull like the band to their underwear for you to put like bills in it and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. He put the 20 in, and then he fucking took it back.
No, I didn't take it back. I didn't take it back.
Okay.
I put it in, and I looked at it, and I went, "No."
No, wait, come back. Hey, wait, I just put it in.
I was like, "Oh." And Dan, Matt, Chris, you know Dan. He looked at me and goes, "Did you just put a fucking 20 in there?" I said, "I didn't mean to." And he goes, "Oh, buddy."
Excellent.
And you would think she'd see that and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna stick around here for a minute." That bitch took it, fucked
No,
off,
she put that shit and ran. Hell yeah.
and I didn't see that bitch the rest of the night.
Well, I mean, she probably had no idea
That
how
was
much
her night's pay, dude. That was her
probably
night's
She went home
pay.
to her kid.
Yeah, that's what I said. You know what? Probably getting groceries with that, so that's fine, whatever.
Oh man.
But I was just like, oh,
Your soul left your body for a second.
yep. And it because like I
And then you
realized,
died inside because you're like, oh, I can't ask for it back.
yeah. Not to be graphic, but I didn't realize until it had already slid in between her like thigh and her underwear band, and I was like, well, I can't pull that back.
Yeah, you pull it back and you put it, can't give her like a
JK, bitch.
What's funny?
Well, I meant to give
What's
you a
funny
dollar.
is I told my brother.
Should have asked her for some change.
Hey, can you break a 20?
I told my brother David, and his wife was listening in the background, and she goes, "I would have fucking chased that bitch down and took it back."
I bet you would have, yeah.
I'm like,
I bet
could
you
do
would
that.
have.
You could. I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
you gotta go. You
ain't
gotta go
no
speak to
dude-
the manager.
Ain't no dude chasing any stripper down in a fucking no, that ain't happening.
But
The fast way to get your ass beat and get kicked out.
yeah, there's some other stories I could tell, but a lot of the
Hey,
time,
not everything needs to be told.
yeah. Let me put it just this way. I didn't know what to do with my hands.
Nothing.
Yeah, because you can't really do anything, right?
Hey, apparently you can
Oh, okay.
if they do stuff, but I
Uh-huh.
for 98% of the time I sat like this with my hands on. I left
I would
them.
be so, dude. I couldn't do it. I'd be so uncomfortable. I would just leave immediately. No.
Yep.
Nah, it was fun. I like. I'm glad I experienced it. If someone were to say, "Hey, we're gonna go," I would go again, but I'm not going out of my way to go again. You know, if they say, "Hey, it's a big group thing, we're doing it for fun," hell yeah, I'm down. But just me, like, oh, I got some extra cash, I'm gonna go blow it at a strip club. No, that's no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get boned up with the boys.
Really, and that kept playing through my head too. Like, it's me and 4 other dudes here, and we're all. I know
We're just
all
sharing
just-
erections. That's
I
what's
know we're
happening.
all just rocking it right now. So
Jesus.
And
You
then
know, and then you're like, yo, but did you actually hit up the food court, bro? The food is so good.
they didn't have food. I was pissed.
That's a shame.
Dude, they got a fucking Chick-fil-A in here, bro.
Holy shit, it's on fucking buffet line, bro.
It was wild.
That's how
And then
they could get me in there. Put a Chick-fil-A in there.
That's
Hey,
from,
I'll
that's
see.
from
I'll
It's
be
Always
over here
Sunny.
at the Chick-fil-A. You guys have a good time.
I got some other breasts I want to go see.
Yeah, I got some. I got a couple other breasts to attend to.
But it was a good time. And then after that, we because Binghamton has a college, Binghamton University right down there. So after that, we went to some college bars, and I don't miss that scene. I had fun. Definitely haven't been since I was like 25, 26. I don't miss that scene. It was a good time while I was there, but then about like right when we were getting ready to leave, I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I want to go to bed.
It's time for me to take my melatonin and watch my mystery shows.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
I got home. I didn't even need melatonin. I'm pretty sure it was like 2:30 in the morning. I had to bartend the next morning too, so I woke up slightly hungover, and I had to go be around alcohol for like 6 hours. It was not a good day.
Gross.
Yeah, that sounds
there was-
miserable.
There was not a time that I didn't have at least a beer and a half in my hands.
Ooh.
They just kept bringing me drinks, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna waste it.
Of course.
Hey, I've been
Alrighty.
good. I've been real good. I only drink on the weekend now.
All right. Well, that's good. But all right, let's move on to the next. I have a couple more things.
Next Mario Kart, I'm gonna fucking be there though.
Yeah, we'll see.
Dude, yeah, you can be there while we get obliterated by Jaheim again, bro.
Yeah,
That guy was
yeah.
a fucking menace. Yo, I showed up at the tail end, dude. He was just obliterating us. It was just a
Who's-
dogfight.
Dude,
For
we were getting
second
bullet
place. I'm
bills in
sorry,
fucking
man.
second and third, bro.
Who's Jaheim?
Dude, it
A
was just a
follower who
it was.
joined.
I was to say, well, he was like was he a viewer or was he just a
Yeah,
random guy?
he's a viewer. Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, it was so awesome.
All right,
Like,
Jaheim. If you're listening, dude, fucking bring it.
Oh, he'll kick your ass. He handed me mine every single race.
I know a guy.
Oh, okay. You know a guy.
I'll get Sam on here.
Okay. All right. He'll beat his ass too. I'm telling you,
Sam?
we were getting Shine and I were getting bullet bills in second and third, bro.
it was fucking brutal. I
Who was his main?
Stars in second.
think he was playing the Wiggler.
Ooh, that's a good call. I'm a Wario on a scooter guy myself, but
Anyway. So, all right, we talked about the PS5 Pro and all that dumb shit. Did anybody watch the Borderlands movie?
No.
I'm not wasting my precious life
Why
on
would I
that.
spend money
Cool.
on that?
So yeah, you don't have to spend money on it. It's about to be on streaming. In fact, almost no one spent any money on it, and that's what we're going to talk about just real quick. So we're going to discuss what kind of absolute dog shit flop this was.
We haven't seen it.
And
You call it a flop, you
haven't seen it.
and I will go ahead and let you know The Crow flopped even worse than this, but we're not going to
Did
talk
it
about
really?
The Crow. Yeah,
That's a bummer. I kind of wanted that to be good.
yeah. So
That movie's
All
had
right,
such
so the
a
Borderlands
horrible
movie-
track record for production.
the Borderlands movie just wrapped up. It's in theater. I don't even know what you would call it, but
Debut?
yeah, sure. It's theater in theater debut. Sure.
It was a run.
Yeah, it's theater run. Yeah, it's in theater run. It made a total globally of $31 million.
Ugh.
And we're gonna put it into context.
Did that
I'll
cover
just-
Kate Blanchett's like flights to go to the green screen room?
Probably not. Apparently it did because that was the. Well, no, we're going to talk about the budget. Sorry, I misheard what you asked. Yeah, so it made $31 million. So that's total gross. That's gross. That's not profit. That's gross. It grossed 31 million globally.
Oh my god.
But hey, it did go positive over marketing, which was a $30 million budget.
That means they
So-
spent $30 million just on marketing.
Oh,
Yes.
so they made that money back at least.
Well, no, because if you actually factor in
Lights are flickering.
share price or ticket price that they actually have to split with the theater and all of that stuff and all that, no, you can actually divide it by basically half. So when you see what a movie makes, you can actually apparently you can pretty much divide it in half based on that's the actual profit based off of the ticket sales because they have to split them all with the theater. Theater, I guess, takes about half. It depends on the theater, supposedly. So that means they really made about $15 million globally.
And I guarantee you some of those actors' contracts have back ends.
The budget, the budget total for the movie was $155 million.
Oh,
Ouch.
So plus the $30 million in marketing, Lionsgate spent $180 million on this movie and made 15. So they literally took $165 million and lit it on fire.
Hey man, you sometimes you lose some.
It's about the
you
art.
lose
And guess
some.
what? Guess what? Lionsgate, I think, also was The Crow as well, which lost even more.
Lionsgate's just committing seppuku now.
you know
Well,
what?
To be fair, there's a lot of companies burning a lot of money.
So wait, are you
There's
telling
a
me
lot of
you
lost
didn't?
money this year?
So are you telling me when you saw the trailer and you saw you weren't immediately hooked and you didn't think, wow, that looks great, that looks amazing? That's absolutely not a soulish, horribly written cash grab that will have absolutely nothing to do with the games. When you saw it, you didn't think that? Because I did.
I remember,
And I
the
think
Souls-
obviously based on the fact that it
Lies.
only made 31 million gross, I think everybody did. And I think we're unfortunately like I don't really care. The actors got paid, so it doesn't matter to them. But
Holy
I
shit.
feel bad for the crews that were forced to work on this turd. But I do not feel bad for the company. This is what happens when you get people who don't know anything or care about the source material. You write your own story. We got to, we have a really unique vision for these characters, and we want to craft a really intricate story that no one has ever seen before. How about just copy the fucking source material? How about that?
I was just say, why do that when you literally have the plot written out for you?
Oh,
No.
dude. Here's another L Lionsgate took this year. They did The Strangers Chapter 1.
Yep. Yeah, the
You know
reboot of The Strangers.
This brings up a good point. Maybe this is why Sony's charging over $900 for a PS5 Pro, because they have to make their losses from Morbius and Madam Web, and they're probably trying to line their pockets for fucking Craven.
Another flop, by the way. By the way, can we talk about why does Craven get the rated R?
Concord?
Yeah, Concord too.
Concord, bro.
Yes,
You wanna talk
I'm
about
so sorry.
PlayStation?
Holy shit. We talked about it on the last part. I forgot to update you guys. So I don't remember if we actually I don't think we actually recorded a podcast. 12 days is how long that game
12
lasted.
days.
12
It's just like a
days.
movie run, except it's a video
12
game that they can
days.
just hit the kill button to.
It was the game that I mentioned at the end that Sony had put that was in development, by the way, for 8 fucking years.
Oh my god.
It was in development for 8 years. It was meant to compete with games like Overwatch 2, the new free-to-play Marvel Rivals game, which looks amazing, by the way. Which is, again, it's a hero shooter with Marvel characters. Like,
I haven't even
fucking
seen
sign
or
me
heard
up.
of that.
Sign me up. It's only been in closed beta. So the open beta or whatever, early access, I think is in like November or December. They actually moved it up because the game has been performing so well in the beta.
wow.
Games like X Defiant, which is Ubisoft's hero shooter using their
Valorant.
own properties, which also is failing because this past weekend they did a promotion where they were offering to give people $9 of in-game currency if you came just to play the game.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Why not?
We
Why not
don't
just
want
go
live
10?
service games. People
Well,
are fucking
but-
tired of it.
But those are people telling their own story in their own IP. It's like, oh, well, turns out it's fucking dog shit.
Yeah,
It's
how
like,
about write a good fucking
I feel
story?
like all of these writers are like, it doesn't matter what IP it is or
Yep.
what company, whether it's video games or whatever. All these people are like pulling from like the same, like it's like a gene pool. They all share the same genes.
Yeah, it's
It's bad, bro.
yeah, I just
Makes me
don't
feel good to be a Sonic fan right now.
just don't really
Oh,
I just
thank
don't
you.
understand, man, like because and then these people will then blame it on the people that watch things and they're like, "Well, you just think it sucks because you're an incel or you're this or you hate women." And that's what the writers and people will say, right? Well, no, how about write something that doesn't suck dick? How about that? Like,
Yeah.
write something that isn't a piece of shit because things like Fallout, did you see that show? Because it got Emmys. It got nominated for a lot of Emmys.
Last of Us?
Has nothing to fucking Last of Us. All they did was change 2 or 3 elements of the plot to actually translate to the TV show. Something that they changed in that was that spores aren't the thing that fly around and get you infected, because if you really think about that, that's fucking how wouldn't they be
Everybody's
everywhere in the
dead,
world?
yeah.
How would
Yeah.
they literally not be fucking everywhere?
Everybody's
Because that's how
dead.
fungus works. In the game, they're like enclosed building areas and shit. Like you walk in and you just put a gas mask on and you're like, all right, well, cool, we're good. Yeah, that's not how fucking fungus works. Sorry. So they made that adaptation change, for the sake of
Halo
the
was
show's
bullshit.
credibility. But like, I just don't understand how many fucking flops and do we need? And how many more failed I need to make my own story with this fucking thing slapped onto it do we need? How many more? How many more?
Bro, we probably could have paid off like the world debt with all of the flops within the last like 10 years on
I
all
bet
these
you
video games.
student debt could have been paid for as well.
Oh yeah.
I bet you we could have bought millions of homes for homeless people as well
Well,
with all that
yeah.
money. But nah,
I just
we'll just keep making shite
Yo,
movies
we
that
can
nobody
make
goes to
bigger
see.
parachutes for CEOs to fly away on, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't you?
Well,
You
you
do a
wanna talk
shitty
about
job, you get
Bobby?
fired, you lose all your money and your house. Your boss does a shitty job. The guy who owns your company, he does a shitty job. Guess what? He gets $50 million and gets to
Bro,
retire.
you accidentally get some Magic the Gathering cards too early, the company will fucking stick the Pinkertons on your ass.
You accidentally put out a
Did you
street release
accidentally
product.
unbox something we sold you? Well, you're gonna need to take down that video.
shit.
Dude,
Whoa, you
corporate
you
equity-
accidentally put a song that you were listening to in a video game on your YouTube channel? Fuck you.
Demonetized.
Yeah, demonetized, bitch.
We own all of it. Bro, you used it for 10 seconds. We own the whole 3-hour bit.
Yeah, their argument is people will come to this channel and listen to it instead of buying it. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, we can move on.
Oh.
We can move on for that rant.
Yeah, you mentioned Halo, bro. All I've got to say about that is what you don't want the little fingernail like
No,
sword.
the fingernail
You don't want the
energy
pinchy
sword. No, I also don't want Master Cheeks. I don't want to see the Master Chief's ass. I'm sorry.
Dude,
I
how
don't.
else are you gonna know he's a human being, bro? You have
Master
to see
Chiefs.
him bang somebody.
True. And not just somebody, a POW.
It's gotta be a POW.
I
that's
didn't
probably
make
a
it
war
past the first episode.
I watched the
couldn't-
first 3. Sarah and I did, and we noped out. We were
I
like,
made the
no.
mistake of watching up
No.
towards the last episode. I just could not watch that last episode, bro.
Once he took off his fucking helmet, I said, "Nope, I'm not gonna
It's
do it."
unbearable.
It's
funny
funny because
the show was good all the way up to there.
That
bro.
didn't even bother me. Like, yes, of course it did. I was like, all right, it's not
He's an
going to break
actor.
the show. It's fine. It's a TV show. You know, we'll make the adjustment. And then apparently he just was never in his suit. They literally just did this. Oh, I'm using this camera. They just did this for all of season 2 to anyone that wanted him in his mask or in his suit. They just did this to you because he wasn't in his suit or anything the whole season.
We're trying
You know
to
what's
tell our
crazy?
own story.
I don't even buy the shit that it was the actor being like, "Oh, well, they're not gonna know who I am," or because Pedro Pascal.
I kind of do. I kind of do.
No,
Have you
I
heard
don't
that
buy
guy talk? He's a douche.
No,
The guy
all I'm
that
saying
was
is,
cast as Master Chief. He wanted everyone to know he was Master Chief.
Vanity project.
that's
He
crazy.
wanted
because
everybody to know he was Master Chief.
look at Pedro Pascal. He was in the Mando suit for so long,
And that proves
in
Master
Mandalorian.
Chief can work on screen, by the way.
Yes, it does.
Proves it.
So, and he's so big now because he did so well as Mando. I mean, he's done well in a bunch of things, but
Yeah, Game of Thrones, all that stuff. He's a great actor, and it's amazing what one good popular performance can do for somebody. Because I'm sure he wasn't just a good actor all of a sudden when he got that role of Game of Thrones.
no.
But I mean, it's like Keith David, bro. When you hear the voice,
Every
you're not just
fucking
like,
game.
"Oh, I'm not gonna look up who the fuck that is because that voice is dope." You look it up, you're like, "Oh, that's fucking Keith David." You don't need to he doesn't need to be.
Trust
like,
me,
there's
voice
gonna be, like,
actors,
a photo of him to know
If they're
who
good
he
enough, people know who you are. I mean, like,
Matt
trust
Mercer.
me. Yeah,
Right.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could pick him out in a fucking crowd of voices. I'm
Nolan
like, oh, hey.
North.
Yep.
Nolan North, Troy Baker. I can instantly know them all, dude. Anyway, but that's just saying.
Yeah.
So
I heard the
let's-
Halo option. I was like, bro, I can steer this into some
yes.
Halo content.
Yeah, we're going to talk about another failing company, and that's Ubisoft. So they have been caught doing something pretty shady the last week or two as well. They were caught pretty much red-handed using bots to like and boost numbers for the Assassin's Creed Shadows World trailer.
Is that the new one with the samurai?
Yes. Yeah, so
Who
they've been
honestly
pretty
is
much
surprised
caught
by that?
using, not surprised. There have been many other companies that are pretty obviously doing this as well. Amazon is one. They do it with their reviews for their first-party shows like The Rings of Power, which is dog shit, and some of their other shows that are It's funny because they only do it to ones that get critically panned by real fans and people, things like that. They didn't have to do it for Fallout. That was a good show.
I have a couple
all
friends
that
who
shit.
like Rings of Power.
Well, they obviously didn't or know nothing about Lord of the Rings lore.
I
So
don't-
I'm just saying.
I can't contribute to that. I barely watched all the Lord of the Rings like fully about a year ago.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you did it while we were doing the podcast, and you came back and reviewed them.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I just stopped consuming like paid for content when it comes to just like watching
Over
stuff.
the last 2 years or so, Sarah and I just like stopped. We just do anything it's either on YouTube or we just read or something, just sit because like it's just so if it's not live sports and I'm not dealing with constant commercials, it's fucking constant product placement and all, and it's so painful to watch now. And because I feel like we have been dealing with it literally our whole lives, and I
I don't
think
really care about product placement usually. It can be
I'm
done
getting
tastefully.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of ads. I'm tired of all of it all the time. But anyway, so Ubisoft, they were caught because so after the first like day or so, it wasn't really nobody really noticed. But people started looking through and scrolling through, and they were like, "Wow, this specific Assassin's Creed Shadows video, for whatever reason, is super well received compared to many of the others that have been released at this point." So people were like, okay, interesting." So of course the internet, as they do, get very curious and obsessive about things. So they started deep diving on a lot of the comments, and they're looking at them and they're reading them and they're pretty generic, like, "Wow, this looks great," or what. They're just generic. You can, when you see it, 50 comments in a row, and it's like they're all just slightly different, super generic. And then you start clicking on the profiles that are the ones that are commenting, and they're all very new, just made YouTube profiles with super weird generic pictures, right? And all of them have almost to the T like 5,000 exact likes on those comments.
Yeah, have
Within
you
like 4,900 to 5,100, all within there.
have you been on Reddit before?
Yeah.
So any of their like big subreddits, it's the exact same thing.
Hmm.
It's just
Yeah.
this dog pile of like it's like initially when you're like it's say like YouTube comments will be the same thing. You'll be like reading it and it's like initially it's like, okay, I think I see what kind of point of view, and then you read a bunch of comments, it's like this continuous conversation going all the way down. And you look at it when you come back out, you're like, who talks like that? I mean, people don't actually speak like this. Like people
Yes.
type how they speak, bro. Like nobody like dude, yeah, it's fucking absurd to hear that
Yep.
a company did
The
that
smoking
like
gun,
that,
though.
but
So the smoking gun is all of those accounts, all of those comments. They're gone now. They've all been deleted once they were called out on it. They're
Everyone
all
knows
gone.
when you delete something from the internet, it's gone forever.
ah.
But still, like so like all those comments and stuff, they were all the ones that were like really generic and all that stuff. They're all gone. They've all been deleted from that YouTube video.
That is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
Like, there's
How do
no
they-
way anybody took screenshots of that, right?
oh yeah, no. Yeah, there's definitely not a website you can literally go on to that is literally an internet archive that shows everything that's ever been posted ever.
Oh my God. It's not like the Wayback Machine doesn't exist either.
So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's whatever. But all right, let's
dead
I wanna
internet theory.
one last little question, unless you guys have anything else to bring up. So with that news about like the flops of Borderlands and many other flops over the last few years since COVID, why do you guys think that nobody wants to go out to the theater anymore? Because that's what it
Busy
seems
playing
like.
video games.
Well, movie ticket prices are also getting more expensive. And then you're getting less and less quality movies. So it de-incentivizes you as a consumer to want to spend more money for a worse product especially when these things after like 12 days, they end up on like Prime or fucking Peacock or some shit, and you can just catch it there. Like I could have watched the latest Godzilla v Kong movie like 10 days after I watched it in the theaters on Peacock. Not that I'm complaining, but I'm just saying like that is a much more economical thing for a lot of people.
I feel bad because we used your free tickets to go see that Kong movie.
I'm glad you felt bad because fuck that movie. It sucked.
I
I'm glad that you guys were like, man, that was fun, and I was like, no, that movie was shit. And then now at this point, now you guys like 5 to 6 months later, like that movie was done.
so it was fun in the moment. You just
Yeah,
you leave there and you're like,
sure
what the
was.
fuck did I just watch? And then you sit down and really let it digest, and then you're like,
Bro, that's how I felt with Rise of Skywalker. Same vibe. It's just like a assault on the senses that takes like years to be like, wait a minute.
To
What the
parse
fuck was
through
that?
and get your
Hold on a second. Post nut clarity is kicking in, bro.
oh yes, exactly.
The dopamine that they assaulted me with is slowly wearing off. I'm finally
But
able to
remember,
look past Chris Pratt's voice.
remember?
Here's the thing. I rode that bit of King Kong using the kid monkey as a nunchuck. I rode that high for like a week. That was the best fucking thing in that whole movie. I didn't give a shit about the rest of the movie. That and them telling me that the underground civilization created gravity. Those were the two things that I was like, that is so fucking stupid that I love it. And then after all of that digested and went through and came out as a nasty explosive diarrhea, I was like, that movie fucking sucks. I'm really upset we used free tickets on that. I'm mad we used free tickets on that shit.
Yep. Yeah, we had to pay for popcorn and shit.
Yeah, the last couple of movies that I saw was one anime movie. I can't remember. We got like a small release window in theaters. That was cool. Got a chance to see like Broly in theaters. That was cool.
Yes.
Saw Godzilla -1.
I took Jake to go
Those
see
are the
Broly
only
in
movies
theaters.
I've seen in the last like 2 years in theaters.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it came out, I took Jake to go see Broly. I got a little thing right here from when I went to go see it on the first night it was open.
So, I have gone to the theater. I think I can count. Nice. I think I can count on one hand how many times I've gone to the movie theaters in the last like 2 years, 3 years.
Same.
Yeah.
Matt, I remember going to see Dragon Ball Super with you.
Yep, superhero. Yep.
Superhero, yeah.
Yep, Chris and I went to go see 65, that absolute masterpiece.
Lost my AirPods at that movie. Then I went and saw Multiverse of Madness, and that was upsetting. Then I saw
Was that the Doctor Strange movie?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
saw
much
one
where
or
I'm at.
two. I would say I saw one or two movies in between, and then I saw Mean Girls, the musical one, because a group of my friends were like, "We're all going. Come on, it's a date night." So I was like, "Okay, whatever." Which is a pretty
Right.
decent movie. It was a pretty decent movie. I had fun with it.
Yeah.
And then
'Cause it's about the event with the people. Like, I'm sure that was fun.
I'm not gonna lie, the movie itself, there was a couple times got me pretty good, made me laugh. Is it Sabrina Carpenter in that movie?
Sure.
Whoever plays Regina George, definitely worth watching for that.
Oh, okay.
Since then,
Mean
oh,
Girls,
sorry, I
Ed.
didn't mean to interrupt you.
And then King Kong. I took Miles to see the Mario movie, but that's different.
Yeah, right, because that makes sense. I mean, it's a kids movie.
And then Deadpool and Wolverine.
I think Borderlands is supposed to be like a kids movie, but like
It's rated
it's
R.
not. It's not. Yeah, exactly. I was like, but it's not.
I think.
Can we talk about what the next flop is going to be?
Oh God, which one?
Sure, yeah.
At least I know it's going to be Minecraft.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
that. Yeah. If
Forgot
you,
about
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be awful.
Bro, the
Oh, it's gonna be
market
awful.
saw that people didn't want to hear Chris Pratt's voice anymore as voiceover for characters, so they said, we're gonna take Jack Black. That's the next one, bro.
People love Jack Black. We're gonna put him in everything.
Yeah, I know. Jack Black's
They did that
turning
with
into the
Kevin
next
Hart.
Chris Pratt.
Oh, you're right. I was
Kevin
just saying
Hart,
that
too.
before that was Kevin Hart.
And guess
But,
what? Guess who
they're
was
making
in?
so
And
much money.
2 of those 3 were in fucking Borderlands. So,
They're making so much money, though.
oh yeah, that good for them, dude. Good for them. Good for them.
Right.
But you know, oh man, I got 2 good things to wrap up with though, if you guys want. So, if you guys don't have anything else you want to talk about, I got two good things that we can talk about.
I
So,
have a small bit. You know what I just realized? I won't be able to see Folie à Deux in theaters.
sucks us up.
Fuck me for having kids.
Yeah.
I just
I'll be
also
there.
realized I'll be watching Bad Blood, probably in a hospital room. Awesome.
Probably gonna see a couple other things in that hospital room, brother.
I see a lot of bad blood in that
I
hospital.
was gonna see you gonna see some bad blood in that hospital. Oh man, it's good to hear that you're handling it well though. It sounds
It's
like you're
gonna
ready.
be my 3rd and 4th time, so there's nothing.
Oh really?
He's going straight to the doctors after that. After they get home and they're safe, I bet you.
Oh yeah, once they're home, I know
Snip.
everything's good.
Snip.
I'm calling the doctor and asking if they can fit me in later that afternoon.
Oh, that's fucking funny. Anyway, so real quick, it has leaked that Red Dead, the worst kept secret in gaming, Red Dead Redemption 1 is finally coming to PC 14 years after release. Which is a little annoying for me because I'm probably gonna have that Let's Play come out and fully recorded before it releases on PC, and then I'll have to play it again once it comes out on PC. So, but anyway, so I'm sure Ty, you're very excited. Did you ever play Red Dead 1?
I did.
Okay. All right. I know Chris played it. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad it's
I have
finally
it.
coming to PC. What'd you say, Jake?
I have it.
Yeah, I know you have it. Jake's not like he's not like he always told me he didn't like GTA and like those free roam games when they were out. But
So
again,
I played Breath of the Wild, and my views have changed slightly. So
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's the idea is like it's just you have to buy the world and like you get over the
You
fact
dive
that
in,
you're
man.
like this is probably going to be like a 300-hour situation if I like go at it.
I'm okay with that now. I mean,
Right.
I've played Breath of the Wild. I'm
see,
chugging
because
through Tears of the
he's
Kingdom.
gotten through Breath of the Wild and he loves it. I've been telling him he needs to play Elden Ring.
It's context based, so like you have to because like obviously if if you played Far Cry 3, then you've played Far Cry the
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
7 games that have come out. So like it's also like is it a good game? So like yeah, if you haven't like Elden Ring is really good as long as you're okay with dying a billion times.
No, I've died
Or like
countless.
Wukong.
I want to play Wukong. That's something that
Yeah,
I think you'll
you're
like
down to
Wukong.
get your
I've
ass
had a good
kicked for a little
time.
bit.
5
I've had a
years
good time
ago,
with it. I've
not
had a
a
good
game
time with
I'd
it.
ever want to play. But now I'm like, that game looks fucking awesome.
Yes.
I want to play it.
Yeah, too bad it's not on Xbox.
I know. And I'm too. Well, not
But
only am
anyway.
I too poor to build a PC, I have nowhere to put a PC anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I was just thinking, I was like, damn, if we come up, where the fuck am I gonna sleep? It's on the couch now.
Dude, Matt, if you get delayed on your Red Dead, that means that you'll also be able to wait for mods to come out. Because
I was gonna say I would wait
I was gonna
until
say
the mods
people
start
mod.
happening.
No, it's not even officially announced.
Now,
Go
do you
for
think?
I'm not waiting.
Velociraptor John Marston.
No, I was gonna say I'm not waiting. This game's 14 years old. It's fine.
If it comes out, do you think it's gonna, or do you think they're gonna resell Undead Nightmare?
Yes.
Separately,
Absolutely,
no.
yes.
No, they won't.
You don't think it's gonna come base game?
No, it will. It'll come base. That's what I mean.
I don't trust that they will.
Why? When they did that for the HD version for PS5 and Xbox Series X and Switch, it was on.
I was gonna say, and they also did that for this one.
You know, I'd like them to prove me wrong. I'm giving them the opportunity to prove me wrong.
I'm
I'm
very
sure
apprehensive.
they really appreciate that, Chris.
They're welcome.
Do you think it's gonna? Do you think it'll be the exact same? Because there's always a chance that it could get released worse.
Oh, there's a good chance it could get released
That's
worse.
the-
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, do you? That's why I'm at. It was like, do you? Okay, that's because that was the other one. It was like either it's gonna come out and they're gonna resell us Undead Nightmare, or it's gonna come out and it's gonna be like that.
Dude, people would
Battlefront.
fucking riot if they did that because they're like, you're gonna sell us a DLC for a 14-year-old game, but you're not gonna release a DLC for GTA 5, and you're not gonna touch the Red Dead Redemption 2 storyline at all, and you're not gonna release anything for that, you can fuck off. I guarantee that is what the internet would say.
I'm just being pessimistic. I'm sorry.
I know. It's real hard to not be that way nowadays. It's really hard.
But, I was in denial about Helldivers for the first 2 weeks. I like played it just like once a day. I just like play one mission. I was like,
this can't be this good.
I'm just gonna wait for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it kind of did with all the nerfs,
I was gonna say for a little while it did.
Almost.
At this point in my life, I prefer to undersell things to myself a lot, so that way when I play it, if it's bad, I'm like, oh well, what did I expect? And then if it's good, I get to be pleasantly surprised.
Yep.
Yes, I am exactly
when
that
you
way.
accidentally pay that $60 or $70, and you're like, oh, this is a piece of shit.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. And then
that's the only one, bro. I think the last one that got me was my buddy got Anthem with his graphics card, so I was like, okay, I'll buy Anthem so that we can play it together. And I was like, it's okay.
No.
And then I saw where we got to the end, it was like, it's not okay. Like, because like it was okay, and then you realize you're at the end, you're like, it's not okay.
And you're like, wait, whoa, we just finished this? Yeah, like try. If anyone doesn't know, that game.
Killer.
Yeah, that
the last one where I was like, $60 to be like, no.
Yeah,
my most recent experience with that was Sonic Frontiers.
Oh,
I
didn't hear anything about it after it came out.
Again, I sold myself short on it. I said it's probably going to be shit. It looks like they're trying to revamp what they did in Sonic 06, and everybody knows how much of a disaster that was. And
this is the guy who was trying to just play it on his Xbox.
It's a disaster, but that doesn't mean it's not a fun disaster.
Oh, why isn't it on the Xbox, man? Why can't I play it? This piece of shit game.
It's not that I can't play it. It just means I have to set up my.
Why can't I play it on my Xbox backwards compatible? This turd.
That's not the whole point. The whole point I was trying to make is that you say backwards compatible, but it's only with whatever games you say you want to play.
From our specific catalog, though.
Yes, our specific catalog of backwards compatible games.
Anyways, Sonic Frontiers,
we will allow you to play on our console.
Oh, that's going to be kind of hard to do.
They're curated for you.
Sonic Frontiers, I undersold it to myself, and then I played it and got to the first boss, which had Kellen Quinn from. Was it Sleeping with Sirens?
Yes.
Yeah, Kellen Quinn, lead singer from Sleeping with Sirens, starts singing that song, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is the best fucking thing ever!" Low expectations, low bar, super pleased.
Fair, totally fair.
Never finished it.
I did.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't finish Frontiers.
No, I beat it like a couple months ago, honestly.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I only had to fight the final boss. It was one of those things where. I did this with Breath of the Wild. I'm doing it right now with Tears of the Kingdom.
Chris likes to do that too. That's his favorite thing.
I get so close, and I'm like, well, there's all this other shit I want to do. All this other shit. And then I get bored, and then I stop playing.
He doesn't do the, there's so much other shit I want to do. It's, I'm so close, let me just stop playing the game now.
No, yeah, I especially right now with Tears of the Kingdom, there's so much shit to do. There's all the
I did that with New Vegas.
There's all the other outfits you can get and all the side quests. I'm like, I want to finish all this because once I beat the boss, I'm like, I'm done with the game.
Yep.
Wrap it up with a bow, like done.
Yeah, I was gonna say there are some games that I will keep playing and playing and playing and playing even after I beat it, and then there are some that I instantly put down the second I see the credits roll. For me, like, and this is probably gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings, but the God of War, the 2 new God of War games, the second I beat them, I never touched them again, and I loved them. But at the same time, I was just like, cool, that's all I need. Awesome. Sweet.
Yeah, right, because I have absolutely no reason to replay, like, 2016.
For me, like, I, again, love the stories of those games, but after a while, the fact that they're like 35, 40 hours almost, and the combat is excellent in those games, don't get me wrong, but eventually, for me, it starts to wear on me. Like, every fucking 15 feet, here's a new wave of enemies we gotta fight. All right. Oh, we gotta fight some more enemies. Oh, next one. Oh, we gotta fight some more enemies. for 45 fucking hours, and I'm like, this is a great story. The gameplay's amazing, but I'm just kind of tired of walking into another room and fighting 15 enemies, and then walking into the next room and fighting 15 more. That's
Yeah.
all.
Now, Baldur's Gate
40
is
hours.
kind of like that because it's a more combat focused game.
Yeah, but that's a turn-based strategy game in terms of the combat. It's not real-time button mash combat.
Well, and it's also not it's not the full breadth of D&D. You know, it's a gamified version of it. That's just like the easiest way to do it is let's make it combat.
It says fucking freedom. Like it gives as much freedom as any game I've ever played. Speaking of which, can't wait to play some more tomorrow. All right, last little thing I want to touch on because we're getting near the end here because we've gone probably just over an hour. I've been playing a bunch of Space Marine 2. I'm almost done with it. About 77% of the way through the game. That's what my PS5 tells me, at least. And I think I'm falling in love with Warhammer. It's fucking awesome, dude. It's so cool.
It's badass.
It's so fucking cool. I've already put like fucking 10 books on my Amazon wish list. I've already got a fucking tabletop starter kit.
Oh, nice.
Favorited again on Amazon. I'm waiting. It's like the starter kit for like a basic army is like $110, but if you think about it, it's a physical thing you own. You paint them all. You have a board. That's not that bad. For a starting kit for me, that doesn't sound that bad. So
It's cool,
might do that for Christmas, but I don't know. I might ask for that starter kit for Christmas. Try to play some Warhammer tabletop somewhere, but it is so fucking cool. The lore is fantastic. It's like the game, by the way, is great. It's like prime Gears of War. It's like everything about Gears of War 2 and 3 from the 360. It's all there. Everything but the cover system is there. There just isn't a cover system in the Space Marine franchise, which is fine. It doesn't bother me. But it feels like the good old days of Gears. It's great. The performance is excellent. I mean, it's been locked it's been locked 45 to 60 FPS the whole game. And there are sometimes hundreds and hundreds of enemies on the screen. It plays great. So, big fan. So, great job, Space Marine 2. It's drop in, drop out co-op. I can't wait to actually experience that once I finish the story and we can play some.
That's why I'm holding off, bro. I was like, I haven't
know.
played that first mission. I'm just waiting.
I'm trying to finish it, but as you guys know, I'm fucking grinding this YouTube channel. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Hey guys, I gotta bow out real quick.
Okay, well, we're about to wrap anyway, Chris, so thanks for hopping on, buddy.
Yep.
I will see you later if you still want to play stuff after I finish Walking Dead Episode 5, okay?
Yeah, I'll text you.
Okay, sounds good. If I don't,
Good night,
have a
Chris.
good night. If I don't see you, have a good night.
Good night, Jake. Good night, Ty.
Yeah, so we'll wrap up here in a minute. But, like, you know more about it than me. Let me see if I can try to if we can sell Jake, just on the concept of it. Because, Jake, do you know anything about Warhammer?
I have scrolled past ads for it.
Okay.
Have you
So
seen
no.
the Alien franchise?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, it's just like imagine instead of xenomorph alien is the only option as like the perfect organism, it's like mankind's kept up.
Mhm.
So
Pretty
I
much.
guess do you know StarCraft?
I know of StarCraft.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, unless you like know the series, because they have a similar concept for how their Marines work, where they're like super jacked up and like pumped full of drugs and like totally
So
changed,
I
kind of like Halo.
They're
Matt
Spartans.
Matt was mentioning Gears. I've played Gears a bit.
It plays
Okay.
like that. So I was gonna sell. I'm trying to sell him on the universe, not necessarily.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Space
this is
Marine.
more of the universe
Yeah.
building in terms of like, okay, so
So yeah, Warhammer
basically-
40K is what we're talking about. So it takes place in the year like 39,000 or something, right, Ty? But basically, it's near the year 40,000. And you're in space age. You've got big human super soldiers that are the Space Marines. You've got a few other. So you have an orc race as well that exists in this
You have a
universe.
rat race.
A what? A rat race?
A rat race.
Yeah,
They are space age.
they are okay. Cool. I wasn't sure. So you've got and then the Xenos, which are like he was saying, they're heavily
Bugs.
inspired by the alien xenomorph. Where like their whole race is just a bunch of it's like a hive mind biomass thing
Okay.
where they just use organic mass to make ships and fucking it's crazy. It's weird.
Okay,
But they're
so
a huge hive mind and they send thousands of fucking enemies after you and they all look like aliens.
well, I mean, basically, what I think the idea is that mankind's been bombed back to the Stone Age mentally with how everything works, but they've just continued to like progress forward. So it's digressed to the point where none of them actually understand like it's a computer that turns on because we have electricity flowing through it and you know all the intricacies of that. Instead, they're just like there's a machine wizard and it makes
Yeah.
it happen and we need to have our machine wizards protected, so they leave the puny humans like back at the base. But like it's like really dark fantasy in terms of like we're using
is
like
so
human
dark and
skulls in order
gritty.
to like store memories and shit, and like that's how they access their tech. It's very
It is
weird.
sick. It is
But
so
like
cool.
there's
Is it on
also
Xbox?
there's
The
basically
first Space
one-
Marine should be on 360.
Because I saw an ad
Yeah.
for Warhammer on Xbox.
Space Marine 2 is on Xbox, and it's co-op. If you,
Okay.
I would look at it.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's
I-
really fun,
Oh, I spend a lot of time on
and
YouTube. I bet
it's
you-
co-op and cross-play, so you could play with us if it looks like something you'd want to play.
Yeah, I'll
And it's
While I'm working,
basically
I watch
been
a lot
my
of YouTube.
introduction to the universe outside of the Total War Warhammer games, which take place 40,000 years before Warhammer 40K.
And then you were saying that this is also a tabletop game?
Yes,
It is.
Yeah, it's been around since the early '80s, I think. Warhammer, the franchise.
So like
It's also
a space
something-
D&D?
Yes, it's like Space D&D. It's its own tabletop game where you get like little figurines and you paint them and
There's
stuff
this guy
like
I
that.
follow on TikTok that makes jokes about typical Warhammer players and typical D&D players, and so I've heard stories. So okay, I wasn't
Yeah,
sure
have
if
you,
those things were related.
Henry
so that's cool.
Cavill. Henry Cavill is an executive producer and will be starring in a Warhammer 40K universe Amazon series.
Oh well, that's all you had to say was that Sugar Daddy was playing it. I'll play it.
Did you ever
He's a huge Warhammer guy. Loves Warhammer. Go Ty, go. Sorry.
did you ever play Fallout New Vegas?
I played Fallout 4, and not a lot of it.
Okay, it was like New Vegas has a group in there called Caesar's Legion, and that's the vibe of like where they like good humanity has progressed to. Like they're
Okay.
all just like
like
gladiators,
the
and
Brotherhood of
shit.
Steel, kind of.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, it's a mix of like they're indoctrinated and like brainwashed into like
So a
They're
while
super
ago-
religious too. They're super religious and like
paladins and knights and scouts, and then you have your
So a
regular-
while ago, I saw this TikTok, and it was like a slideshow of a hand-drawn comic of Space Marines, and I had no idea what the context was. And they were like super noble, and this
Yep.
one dude, he was talking to like
they
a
had
kid.
blue
He was-
armor.
Yeah, he was talking to
Yep.
a kid. He was saying like, "I will protect you," blah blah blah. And then
Yes.
it's like as you scroll through the comic, it's the same house, and everything's destroyed, and it was a little doll that the kid was holding, and I guess a higher rank Space Marine was talking to the one that said, "I will protect you with my life," and it's like you just got to move on. And so I get the vibe, I guess, kind of. I'll check it out.
It's
for
a
sure.
very-
Like I
it-
said.
Think of the vibe from Gears of War, that kind of constant war, like shit, everything sucks, shitty vibe, dark,
the
grunge,
non-stop
bleh,
like
grimy
dark
war.
future meat grinder. Yeah, like
Mhm.
it's basically everything only works because there's constant war.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. Like I was saying, I live on YouTube most of my days, and I can find a Warhammer lore video.
Yeah, I've been
I'm sure I-
full disclosure. I have now. Well, I actually got it. Maybe it was maybe a year or two even ago. I don't know exactly when I bought it, but I have Space Marine, the first one, on Steam.
I
I
started
might do a
playing
let's
that.
play. I might do a let's play. We'll see.
It plays a
but
little differently, you know. The control scheme's a little different, but it's,
Yeah, I'm
dude,
sure.
I started
It's
playing
like 10
it.
years
it
old.
feels the exact same, except
Okay.
you're fighting orcs.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear slightly canonically Orcs have been confirmed as Mexicans.
What?
I don't know. I saw it on a tweet the other day, and all the Mexicans are like, "Yeah, we're orcs."
Oh, that must be true.
Yeah, I mean, each race is based off of a certain place in the world. So I
Are you talking about the Warhammer universe?
Just
Or?
orcs in
was
general.
just say you're just talking about fantasy.
Fantasy orcs are like the Mexicans, and everyone's like, "Yeah."
Sure.
Hey, I'll take your word for it. I'm not going to comment on that.
Smell man meat. I mean, I can smell a steak from
No,
3 miles away.
What do you smell?
I'm starving.
Man flesh.
Man
Man
flesh.
flesh.
I love the fucking casual voiceover video for that.
Man flesh.
Hey, what do you smell?
Man flesh.
Man flesh.
What do you smell?
Hey, Matt, before we dip out, can I drop our news about what we're planning in the future?
Sure, go for it. And then we'll wrap up. So,
So I figured out a way to where I can get Matt to be a P2/casual couch partner and watch me do a playthrough of a game that I am. This is one of the games that I can beat and then about a month later hop on it and play it again and beat it because I played it so many fucking times. I figured since we're getting close to the hype the hype's already here for the Sonic 3 movie. We can
it
ride
was
that
at the
hype
beginning of
train.
December, right?
End of December,
End of
Like right
December?
before
Sweet.
Christmas.
Even more time then.
right before Christmas. We can ride the hype train and blast this all over everybody's algorithms on YouTube. I'm gonna do a playthrough of Sonic Adventure 2 with Matt sitting commentary with me watching. I was thinking maybe if we have time, I could do a playthrough of Sonic Adventure 1 as well. I can scour through that game pretty quickly. It just all depends on how fast I can catch that damn frog.
Yeah, that's where I gave up.
So, but yeah, we're gonna work on that. We figured out a really convenient way. Thanks, Xbox and Discord, for working together with us. That'll be really nice.
Yeah,
They're
thank
not
God.
partnered with us, but Discord.
Yeah, thanks for the sponsorship. Microsoft brought to you by Microsoft and Discord.
Yeah, but no, it should be fun. Like I said, I can hammer it out pretty quickly. I'm not going for a perfect A rank, and I'm not finishing every little fucking side mission. It's just a playthrough of the game. So if some of our viewers don't know much about Sonic Adventure 2 or any of the lore, it's a quick little intro to it for at least the movie if you want to have fun with it.
Fuck yes. And then this was the first appearance of Shadow, correct?
Yes, it is.
Sweet. And that's why we're going to play it.
That's why I figured ride the hype of Shadow the Hedgehog and Keanu Reeves.
So you ever play the Shadow the Hedgehog GameCube game, bro?
Yes, but on PlayStation 2, yeah.
That was the first
on Steam?
Sonic game I ever played.
It might be on Steam.
I'm looking right now.
Still
I only
riding
have it
high
on-
from when he said shit.
Sonic Shadow Generations is going to be on Steam.
Yeah, I already pre-ordered that.
I bet you fucking did.
I almost convinced myself to drop $250 on the limited run edition of that game. Because it's the game in of itself, but it comes with this kick-ass collector's statue
Oh, well,
of
thank
Sonic.
you. Yeah. No,
of
no, I
Sonic and
get
Shadow.
that. Totally get that. I've done that before. Don't even.
Sonic and Shadow standing on a OG Dreamcast console. It doesn't work.
Oh, that's
obviously.
even cooler.
Exactly. And I was like, I want to buy that. But I did some research on the limited run, and they're kind of spotty. So, and even if I did pull the trigger and spend the money on it, I wouldn't get it until next July. And so I was like, my hype for it will die down way before
Yeah, it'll
that.
show up at your house and you'll be like, oh my God, I fucking bought this.
Yeah. So that's what convinced me to not do it. But it's a kick-ass thing. If I wanted to do it, I could still do it because I think you can pre-order until October 6th. But I don't know. It's not a tough sell, but knowing that I have twins coming in like 3 weeks, it's a tough sell for me to just blow $250 like that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time to wrap. Thank you guys for showing up. That was fun. That was a good episode. yeah, we're gonna do. I don't know exactly when it will come out. Hopefully, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll do episode 1. I mean,
Yeah.
for that.
Hell, I
So,
can record
yeah,
Friday night.
keep. All right. Well, we'll keep it. We'll keep that a possibility. So yeah, look out for that. Got some other fun stuff. I'm going to be recording the final episode of The Walking Dead season 1. So I'm gonna have to go and sit down for a few minutes, grab some tissues, and get ready for that. Oh my god! So
Clementine!
I'm gonna be crying my eyes out tonight. So hopefully all of you guys will check that out for spooky season. If you haven't, the Walking Dead game, it plays out very much like a TV show. It's just a simple point and click style game where you pick all of your dialogue options, and all the characters remember things you say and the choices you make. So, and you kind of have to live with it all. So it's
Feels
fantastic. There's a lot of feels bad. There was a lot of feels bad the last couple episodes, but I recorded that one and I got it posted today. But so the final part, it will release at 9 o'clock on Friday. So check it out.
Nice.
I'm giving you guys a couple days to catch up on it. So if you want to see it on Friday night, make sure when you sit down, it's going to be about 2.5 hours long. Each episode is about 2 hours. So grab a drink, grab some popcorn, all that good stuff. So, some other stuff. We have a new goal for subscribers. 100 is what we're looking for. So by December 1st, if we can get there during the month of December, we will do a 12-hour charity stream for some kind of like children's hospital or something in December. But you guys got to do your part and help us get to 100 subs. So, and really, if you guys want to help us out, if you guys are watching the content, you're loving it, all you have to do is click that thumbs up to like the video and subscribe. So that helps us out more than really anything else you can do.
And then click that bell.
We appreciate
when we drop new stuff.
we appreciate every single one of you guys that spends any second watching any of our stuff. So that's pretty much it for me. After we finish Walking Dead, the next Let's Play will be Batman Arkham Knight, so I'll start that next week, probably about next Monday or Tuesday. That episode will come out, and Bloodborne Episode 7 will be out on Friday or Saturday. So, like and subscribe, stay unapologetically nerdy, and we'll see you guys next week. Or, well, not next week, that's what I used to say. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Deuces.
Bye.